So this is the first of a series of lesson videos that I'm going to be posting. This first one is going to focus on tone and embouchure development. Now the reason why I put both of those things together is because I really feel that those two things really come hand in hand. And the reason for that is, in my opinion, you can't really produce a decent tone without an embouchure. I mean, if I wasn't to use an embouchure, this is what I get. Either air, or if I really blow as hard as I can, I might get like a little honk or something. Of course, that really isn't a decent tone, you know, if I use an embouchure, you know, the way I shape my lips on the instrument. Then I'm going to produce a tone. So first I want to go ahead and address the common tendencies among younger players, or, you know, players that are less experienced. And that is, of course, you know, when you play the upper register, if you're even able to get a sound in the upper register, the common tendency is to get more of a pinched or a very thin tone in the upper register. And then the lower register, if you are able to get a sound in the lower register, the common tendency among younger players is to either get a loud, obnoxious honking sound, or maybe a higher version of that note. You know, because we always feel like we want to drop our jaw in order to get that note to come out. And then, of course, in order to get the higher notes to come out in the upper register, specifically the palm keys, we figure that we want to tighten our embouchure a little bit more and constrict the reed a little bit more with our lower lip. You know, or literally biting the reed and ending up putting holes in our lips. So that's something you definitely want to try to avoid. And I have a very specific exercise that I've been working on myself, and I actually recommend it to my students. This is an exercise that you're gradually going to expand over time. But as you're doing this exercise, you're focusing on two things. Number one, you're focusing on your tone. And number two, you're focusing on strengthening your embouchure. Now, here's what I do in order to accomplish this. We're going to be using two exercises. The first exercise is going to be centered on B flat. And it's going to be centered specifically on the B flat. You can either use the bis version or the side version without the octave key. And what I'm going to do is first I'm going to start off by starting on my B flat and then going down a half step to A. So what I'm doing is I'm starting on B flat, going down a half step to A natural and back up to the B flat again. Now I'm going to do the same thing, except I'm going to go up a half step. I'm going to start on my B flat and then I'm going to go up a half step to my B natural. And back down to the B natural, of course. Now I'm going to expand upon that. Now I'm going to go down a whole step to A flat. Now I'm going to go up a whole step from B flat to C. And then I'm going to continue to expand. Then I'm going to do it in minor thirds. Obviously, I'm doing it faster than you would really intend to do it in the actual exercise. Then major thirds. And vice versa. Until you make it all the way up to the full octave. Until you're able to successfully reach B flat to low B flat. And then B flat to high B flat. Now, one thing you want to make sure of, as soon as you're able to hit those octaves, going from the middle B flat to the low B flat and the middle B flat to the high B flat, you want to make sure that you aren't making any adjustments in your embouchure. Your embouchure should be staying excuse me. Your embouchure should be staying the same between the low register and the high register. And now, it's very important, first of all, remember that this is not just a tone exercise, it's also an embouchure strengthening exercise. So you want to really try to pay attention to your lips. If your lips are starting to feel sore or tired, stop the exercise, don't continue it. That'll be as much as you're going to do for that day, because you don't want to wear yourself out, you don't want to fatigue yourself. Little by little, you'll be able to gain the strength to be able to move further and further into the exercise. If you only make it up to minor thirds, that's fine. And once you finish doing the exercise that's centered on the B flat, then next you're going to do an exercise that's going to be centered on your middle F. That's the F with the octave key. And the way you're going to attempt to do this exercise is you're going to do the same thing that we did with the B flat exercise, except you're going to be doing it on F. You're going to be starting off half steps, going from F to E, back to F. Then going up a half step, F to F sharp. And keep going through this. You're going to continue to expand the intervals until eventually you make it up an octave and down an octave. Well, down an octave and up an octave. So that way you'll be able to go from F to low F and back to F, then from F to the high F and back to F. And trying to do the best you can, not making any changes in your embouchure. Like this. All right, now, and of course, again, if your lips start to give in and you start to feel tired, don't continue the exercise all the way up to the high F and the low F. Only go as far as you can until your lips start to feel tired. As you gradually do this on a daily basis, you'll be able to continue to go further and further as your embouchure continues to strengthen. That'll do it for today. I will see you on my next lesson. Thank you very much. This is the complete exercise centered on B flat. This is the complete exercise centered on F. Enjoy.